So Friday the 25th of April, new topics. We're doing dividing and multiplying decimals and transformation of graphs. So when you divide decimals, a lot of people get confused with just multiplying bits of the question by 10 or 100 and then having to do something at the end. The easiest way to do it is to write it as a fraction. It's this one here, 81 over 0.9. Get rid of the decimal. So I'd have to times this by 10, and to keep it equivalent, times the top by 10 as well. 810 over 9, and then just do that division. So 9s into 810 is going to be 90, and that's my answer. I don't need to change anything because I multiplied the top and the bottom by the same number. Next one then, 0.016 over 0.02. So I've got 3 decimal places on the top. So I'm going to have to multiply by 1,000, which will leave me with 16 over 20. 16 over 20, if I divide everything by 4. 4 over 5, which is 0.8. Next one. So you could do this using your bus stop method if you wanted to, because the thing we're dividing into has the decimal place. So 3 doesn't go into 1, but I need to put my decimal up there and carry that 1 across. 3's into 18 go 6, 3's into 6 go 2. And then last one, I'm going to do this one as a fraction again. And times by 100 because of the 2 decimal places on the top. 2086 over 20. If we divide those both by 2, I'd get 1043 over 10, and then anything divided by 10 is going to be 104.3. Multiplying decimals. So first thing we want to do is count out the decimal places. So I've got 2 that I'm counting out there and 1 I'm counting out here, and I'm just left with 7 times 1, which will be 7. And because I counted out 3 decimal places in total, 2 from the first number and 1 from the second, I'm going to put 3 back in. I took them out to the right, so I'm going to put them back in to the left. 1, 2, 3. So it's going to go there. And then I need to add in some placeholder zeros. Write it again neatly for your examiner. And we get 0.007. Next one. So 1 decimal place from the first number, 2 from the second. Then we do 11 times 5, which is 55. And then put 3 back in. Put in your placeholder zeros, 0.055. Transforming graphs. Okay, so we're given this graph, and it says the coordinates of the maximum point of the curve is 1, 4. What are the coordinates of the turning point? Well, the maximum or the minimum is always the turning point. So that's just 1, 4. So if this is equation y equals f of x, and we want to find the coordinates of the turning point for y equals f of x plus 3, we want to think about what happens. Now, when something is happening inside the bracket next to the f, that means it affects the x coordinates, and it always does the opposite to what we think should happen. So this is saying plus 3, so what's going to happen is I'm going to take away 3 from the x coordinates. So we started off with 1, 4 for the f of x, and for the f of x plus 3, we're going to take away 3 from the x coordinate to get minus 2, and the y coordinate stays the same. Right, next one. So y equals minus f of x. Now this is something that's happened outside of the bracket. So that means it affects the y coordinate, and it's just a minus, so the y coordinate changes sign. So I had 1, 4 before. So this will become, it's still just 1 because x doesn't change, but it'll be minus 4. The one below, y equals f of x minus 3. It's outside of the bracket again, so it affects the y coordinate. And it always does what we think it should do. So the x, this one from before here, always does the opposite. Think your x always does the opposite to what you want them to. But the y does exactly what you expect. So I'm going to take away 3 from my y coordinates. So the 1 and the 4 will become 1 and 1. And then last one, inside the bracket affects the x coordinates. And because it's a minus, it changes the sign. So I'm going from 1, 4 to minus 1 and 4.